Buckle, I'm a pirate on the ship. This one, nothing but the style upon the kish. Roll with the no space, my accomplices. Solo in the forest, that's where my solace is. Digitized everything, got me feeling fake. Switching up, never been a problem, piece of cake. They ain't really deep like the jazz that Lisa plays. When evening comes, I'm bleeding gums, see me by the lake. But I've been by the river, used to beg to differ. Crack a bit of chip off of your Biff and Billy Kipper. I've been off the liquor, way back when I was a glugger, not a sipper. Demons dealt with, I'm beaming looking chipper. I've been by the river, car the river where it's at. Nothing but some footprints left upon the path. Moving in the moment, you ain't got a chat. You know what it is, you ain't really gotta ask. Stepping out, moving a casual sway. Handling things in a natural way. Telling the truth that they don't wanna hear. Telling the truth that I don't wanna say. Telling the truth cause it has to be told. I hold my high and I go my own way with my no space. That's my own pace. But I've been by the river, used to beg to differ. Crack a bit of chip off of your Biff and Billy Kipper. I've been off the liquor, way back when I was a glugger, not a sipper. Demons dealt with, I'm beaming looking chipper. I've been on the road, far away from home. Keep my
What is good, people? Thank you. Yo, I am Rick Charles. Welcome to Under the Hood. This is the second episode. So I appreciate y'all just coming in. I said y'all, that is awful. You lot sound so much better. But dropping in. Obviously, the first episode was with our good old friends Red Wolf for his album Aquarium. If you didn't check that out, you need to go and check that out because it was fire, greatly well produced. This one is with our Manny Man of Caveman for his latest EP, the River Dawn EP. So I'm just going to get straight into it, to be honest, just trying to cut it and see where we're up to. I did just have a couple of tracks playing in the background already, which was By the River, which was actually my favourite song of the whole EP. So By the River, I will just play you a little snippet now. If you weren't there listening to it, I'll play it for you here.
Keep it close while I'm working on my notes. I've been on my own, that's the way I chose. You know you all alone when you're gazing at your soul.
So, in terms of the actual EP, there is 4 tracks on the EP, all really well produced. There's 3 tracks on there that are like very kind of similar, jazzy kind of boom bap. Then the 4th track, I'm not going to tell you yet until you listen to it. I'll show you in a bit, which is a little bit harder, a little bit different. Caveman's flow, sort of the whole kind of EP switches in between different kind of flows, vibes in terms of that, so it's definitely worth that. Having a great listen to that. I would also say my favorite bar, which was basically, I think it was on By the River actually, and it was my favorite bar was digitize everything, got me feeling fake, switching up, never been a problem, a piece of cake, ain't really deep like the jazz that Lisa plays, which is crazy, right? Because sometimes you don't have to say bars that are stupidly intelligent just for shit to be really good. And that was just one of those bars that just resonated. It just kind of, for me, it was like hearing it, I was like, oh man, it's like pondering. Like, you know, what am I doing? And that's what it kind of felt like. So that's probably my favorite bar of the whole EP, to be honest. In terms of favorite production, my favorite production was Problems. Oh, Problem. I'm going to play it for you now. Just a little snippet. Problems is such a vibe. They have like a little, it's like a wah synth on there. You'll get what I mean in a second, because I'm probably going to mouth it as it's playing it anyway. But it's like a wah, wah, wah. And the melody is fire. So let me just pull this up for you now so you can hear this. Hear what I'm saying. It's fire. And the way that he rode the beat as well. It's cold. I can see him in the background vibing with me already. He thinks I can't see him. I can.
Man can't cause me problems. Man, I got choices. Man, I got options. These guys can't cause me no issues. My little Obies, Yodas, Windows. Yes.
Such a laid back chorus, man.
These man can't cause me no bother. Pooch too sturdy, the pooch too proper. These guys can't do my nothing. Drink this brew while I eat this pudding. Yes. Move smooth once more. One hot fences, unlock doors. Not selfish, come one, come all. Ram jam out, let's bust this hard. It's live, find a way. Take time, refine the way. Set things out worth time of day. Set things straight like trying to play. Like do you want teams and size and strive?
That's all you're getting in, giving the whole thing. We're all night. But one thing I will say, noted as well through the actual EP itself, and this is something that comes with kind of experience as well, is the way he uses his tone on each track. Like when people spit, they just assume you spit bars, it's done with, but there's a musicality to spitting on tracks where you really need to understand how you're using your tone, and Caveman uses that really well and utilizes it really well. In terms of my favorite verse, was on One Time. There isn't a verse. The whole track, I love the rawness of it. I love the way that he spits on it. It's just gritty. It's just in your face. In fact, while I'm chatting pure nonsense to you, I'm gonna play that anyway, so you can hear that. But it's just the beat as well. The beat, you've just heard like the three beats. We're all kind of chilled, laid back, and then it comes in with like kind of last track of the EP like this. Play it, pull it up. Such a simple beat, then he just drops in the keys. It's just like rise it a little bit harder, like
see me on my ones one time, still shelly when I got one line. That's not sniff, just one lyric that'll bit, that'll hit when I spit it in the pit. Let me show you what it is. See me on my ones one time when I hit 'em with a swan-ton rhyme. Hey, I've been there a long, long time. I'd be lying if I said I never lost one time. Okay, see me on my ones one time, still shelly when I got one line. That's not sniff, just one lyric that'll bit, that'll hit when I spit it in the pit. Let me show you what it is. See me on my ones one time when I hit 'em with a swan-ton rhyme. Hey, I've been there a long, long time. I'd be lying if I said I never lost one time. I touch mic and I straight up shell it. Set flow come like an ancient relic. 1-1 number and I might belly. You can do that to your face and red in it. Look like a unread base. What message? Man's angelic, likewise devilish. Bullseye straight when I aim and I never miss. MC Punchy shut down the premises. I touch mic, it's a straight up slaughter. Come with a flow that I wrote on Horton. This is my baron, I am its author. I'm the flow maker, flow is my daughter. When by the river I flow like the water. Osman and Northern, man.
Right, I'm stopping you because it's fire. But just something simple, man. It's just like a straight up chord on the kick into a little melody, and man, it just rides the track so well. It's dead smooth. Love that. That was kind of where I was at. In terms of, I don't want to say least favorite song because I still enjoyed them, but it's not one that I would play back constantly. It's probably Due Today, which is the first track of the album or EP. The production was fire in terms of the actual track itself. It was really well produced. I think for me what it was is the chorus. I think it was intentionally, the chorus was like the underlays were left off time intentionally just to kind of fatten it up. It felt uncomfortable for me, but it doesn't take away from the track. The production was sick. And if you like that into thing, you'll probably enjoy it. And there's like 8 bars at the end where he switches it up to like almost like D&B, which is fire. If you want to listen the whole way through and get to the end of that, it's still fire at the end. I don't have I've again rating them. You know, I'll give myself like a least favorite production. I don't have one. All 4 beats on the actual EP slap 100%. And if you like boom bap, you're gonna thoroughly enjoy it, like it hands down. I don't have a least favorite verse either on this one because it's just 4 tracks and all 4 of them just went in. Corniest bar. The corniest bar was I think was move like Buzzy, I'm here for a buzz, I think it was. I think that's how it was. He's shaking his finger, so he's probably going to correct me on that. In terms of highlight for the whole thing, though, I had like a big nostalgia for kind of boom bap, and I loved it. I really thoroughly enjoyed the 4-track EP. It kind of gave me some what's the word I'm looking for? Hit backs from like Skinny Man is how I kind of heard it. That kind of vibe is what I got from that. Really enjoyed it. I haven't got any criticisms. The only thing that I have really is just to kind of say pick up is like some enunciations on his words could probably be improvement, but that's just again down to just how you are as a rapper and how you want to do that. So that's fine. That's just me being real picker. On that note, I don't know how long we're in for. We're 10 minutes in. I'm going to bring in the man himself, Caveman. Let me bring him in. Let's go. What's happening?
Right, what are we saying, man?
I was saying, big man, you good?
Yeah, man, I'm excellent, man. I've just seen my face. It's mad humid in Manchester today, so I am sweaty. If I look sweaty,
Listen,
I am.
yeah, it is. Listen, I'm rocking the Prem hoodie right now, and I'm sweating my back out, because I was just trying to rep the new clothing line, but it's so warm in this room. So, Briggz, it's you. I'm not happy with you.
Well, that's because it's a good quality product, yeah.
It's a very good quality product. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick fire round with you, right? I'm going to give you two options. You got to tell me who you would pick, right? I'm going to set up you got a minute, right? Let me just set this up, and then we're good to go. Clock, bam, in. Start 1 minute. Timer. Let's go. 1 minute. So, Dre or Timbo?
Dre.
M or 50?
M.
Pac or Bigger?
Pac.
Drake or Post Malone?
Neither. Drake.
Neither. Okay. JT or Nas?
Nas.
J. Cole or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Big Pun or Big L?
Big L.
Ice Cube or Snoop Dogg?
Snoop.
The Weeknd or Bruno Mars?
Probably Bruno.
Yeah. Billie Eilish or Lana Del Rey?
I don't have.
You don't know who they are? Fine.
I know who they are, but I don't have.
That's fair. I mean, that was quicker than Red Wolf. Red Wolf could not get his decisions out quick enough. So you're the quickest that's done it with 39 seconds in. Big. Right. So let me just give you a big introduction. So as I said, this is Caveman. We've got the River Dawn EP, 4 tracks. Definitely going to listen to that. If he's on Spotify, just have a look. It's Caveman Mate. That's M8 on Spotify to go and find him. He was a battle rapper for Premier Battles as well, if you don't know this already. So if you've not seen him, you should definitely go and watch him because the guy's hilarious. He's in a group called No Space, that's right, yeah? With a mixture of producers and artists from the likes of Black Eyes, Blue, Chi, and Tobaja. I hope that's right. Is it Tobaja? Yeah, Tobaja. Cool. So, yeah. So about yourself, anything we haven't touched on, anything you want to kind of throw in yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm an MC, I'm an artist, and I've just been, I've dipped my toes in a bunch of different things. Battle rap is one of the side quests I've been dipping into. I've been really enjoying it. I've been a big battle rap fan for years and years, but I never got around to trying it. So now I've got a lot out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I remember the first time I was there for your first tryout, and I was hugely impressed, man. Like first time, I was like you understood it. Do you know what I mean? You fully got you grasped it, which was sick. So what I'm going to ask you is, you the album name. So where's that come from? What is it?
The River Dawn. So I've had that name for like years, and it started off. We was walking to a party one night, me and my friend, and we was just talking, and we started making up stories about this guy we know, and saying that like he chills in Salford and like shots every night, and then every night he gets tired of shotting and goes and sits by the river and like contemplates his life and calls himself the River Dawn. It was just a off the cuff conversation we were having, and just the name the River Dawn just stuck in my head for years. And then when I came to this project, it was during lockdown, and where I was living at the time was just by the Mersey, so I was going out in the daytimes and walking down the Mersey. That was like my 2 hours out or whatever, and the name just came back to me. There is a River Don between here and Sheffield. The River Don is a real river, but it's nothing to do with that, and it's also not
fair.
Not the rivers. It's just an in joke that is
right.
Out.
That's out now, yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. So in terms of graphics, I've got to be honest with you, right? I swear to you, and don't take this out if you want to take it. I'm always straight anyway. That picture that you've chosen for your album cover, bro, like you've got so many good photos. Like I've seen them on Insta, yeah, and you've just gone, you know what? Do you know what you look like? Yeah, and you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't care. Kick Nella on that picture.
We do look a little bit similar. Me and Kick.
You are similar.
Yeah, I think that we might have a great grandparent in common or something
similar. That's unlucky for you. So what I will say is, what was the idea behind the album cover? How did you get to? What was the idea? Where did you get it?
That picture was taken during that period of time as well. And it was very simple, man. I just wanted to keep it simple and something that I could reproduce in lots of different ways. So I use that same font for everything that's attached to the project.
Okay.
And I've used that same background for everything attached to the project. And that picture, it just very simply, it clearly shows you what I look like. So that that was what it was.
This is what you're getting. Yeah, I'm Caveman. This is me. This is what you're getting.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Obviously, this is a solo project away from No Space.
Yeah.
What was the kind of the thought process around that?
So there was probably about 3 things that went into it. One of which was that, like I say, I wrote it during lockdown, so I just wasn't really around the others for that period of time. The second is just aware that I'd never put out a solo project before, and same way I feel like to be a complete MC, what I've done some battles and what I've done some shows and whatever, I feel like having a solo project is an important string to the bow. And also working within a collective is amazing, and you learn a lot of things. But if I make a tune with 3 people, 2 of us love it and one of us is 50-50, then it's not coming out because we work on common consent and so on. So I wanted to have the freedom to be like, right, I'm happy with that, that's that. I'm not happy with that, that's not that. And do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
And I've enjoyed it.
No, that's good. That's good. So was there more tracks? Oh, don't say more tracks. Was there potentials in there that you was like, yeah, I don't like that, it's not going on?
Yeah. There was maybe 20 tunes that could have got onto there. But and not to say that they were all ready to go and didn't, but there was about 20 or so tunes that could have made it onto there and didn't. I was quite keen to keep it quite short, again, because it's a first project. I wanted to. The whole project, I think, is about 12.5 minutes long. So you literally listen to it in no time. I think
it is. I think it works out. I remember looking at it like, oh, Snap's not that long. This is like a bus journey, man, from town to just up the road to flipping Longside, and that's not even that long.
Yeah. The longest song is like 3 minutes 50, maybe. Other than that, they're all quite short.
Yeah, 3 minutes 33, which is Problems.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I get it though, because me and Briggz are currently working. Well, we've just releasing Sunnyside. Yeah, and then we're currently working on another project, but I think we're working on just singles at the minute and just going rolling with that. If I said too much, I'm probably going to get a text in a bit from him saying, "What are you doing? Why are you telling everybody everything?" But yeah, see what happens.
I remember watching an interview with Russ, you know, the American guy Russ.
Yeah.
He was saying basically like if you have albums, 12 or 14 songs, so 3 albums is about 45 songs.
Yeah.
He was like, it makes more sense for me to drop 1 song a week for a year than it does to drop 3 albums over the course of the year, because what you get all the time, you drop 4 songs, the first 2 songs have got double as many plays as the last 2 because people just lose attention and stuff. So
yeah, no, I get that. I actually really like Russ as well, you know, like he's sick. It's like he's done. There's a couple of tracks I can't tell you off the cuff, but I've got him a little playlist where like fire. He's just done one with Ed Sheeran actually as well, which was fire.
He's on the Black Thought and Danger Mouse album.
Yeah.
You know,
I do like Russ. I literally just got a text off Brick saying, "What are you doing? Why are you telling everybody?" I told you, I knew it was coming.
You know.
What would you say your favorite track is on the album, or your favorite production? I'd say favorite track and favorite production.
So musically, I like them all, but I think for me, By the River is maybe the one that means the most to me. I like the bar you quoted. You missed the 4th bar. So the last bar of that bar is they ain't really deep like the jazz that Lisa plays when evening gums and bleeding gums see me by the lake.
Fire. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it literally caught me ear a couple of times. I was just like, I love. It's like almost like a process of like, philosophical, like, what am I doing? What is this? What have I got? Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like when I heard it. So I was like, I rate that.
It's all just me wondering.
Yeah. No,
that's me.
Yeah, the whole the EPs like that. I wouldn't say it's conscious. That's not what I was saying. It would be like, but it's just a lot of you're just kind of processing what you're thinking and kind of throwing it on a track to kind of get it out. Do you know what I mean?
The By the River music video dropped 1 hour ago. If you're watching this live, it just dropped on Treehouse Manchester. So after this, search Caveman by the river, Treehouse, and check out what Treehouse are doing. Check out what I'm doing. The videos right there. So
Yeah, man, definitely gonna hear that up. So in terms of, so obviously you've musically said by the river. What about production? What was saying your favorite production is? You got to pick one. You can't be like, I like them all.
Yeah. I was gonna say 2, but I feel like out of 4 tracks, 2 is a proper cop out. So I'd probably say Problems is maybe my favorite production.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it.
Strange Soul, we got a tune together as well called Together, which is one of my favorite tunes I've ever written. And Strange Soul, he's a sick producer. He used to be called Twisted Roots, and he's been around for years. He actually did a 2-on-2 on. He'll probably hate me saying this. He did a 2-on-2 on King of the Ronalds with Visceral, and he was credited as Visceral's mate. And
sick. Okay.
but absolutely, he's an amazing producer. And
I guess on the back of that, then while we're there, so in terms of, I'll keep looking to the right because I'm looking at the EP. Have you done any production yourself? Anything in there you've done?
Yeah. So Do Today and One Time are both produced by me.
Yeah. Do you know One Time's fire as well? You know, like it's grimy. I don't know. I tell you what, I'm going to ask the question because I couldn't hear a bass line in One Time. There isn't one, yeah.
There's literally keys and drums, and that's
I thought it was.
I thought I'll go put some more in, and I just thought, nah, this is all this tune needs to be.
Yeah, the little melody. So when the chord like drops in there, it just works. It just makes it ride out.
Yeah. It's one of them where it's just it just clicked, and I was like, yeah, this is all I need the song to be.
Nah, I agree. Yeah, no, it worked 100%.
And again, it's different from what I normally produce because I would typically go more down the route of like the boom bap and the sleepy kind of beats and stuff.
Well, that's what the whole kind. I said that EP generally, but the 3 tracks that are on there are very much like that. So it's just boom bap, kind of slow, jazzy kind of vibe to it. And when you get to the 4th track on the EP, I was like, this is mad different. This is like harder than everything else on here in terms of like the way that it is. It's more like grimy hip hop. So yeah, I enjoyed it, man. It was really, really good.
So last week we had an EP launch. Shouts to the Hip Hop Chip Shot. They put it on, and that song, One Time, I played it. It was the last song of the set, and there was no one there to wield the tune because everyone had come in front of the tune. We finished it. Everyone was like, "Yo, play it again!" And like I was like, "That's cool." And like the crowd, no one would let me leave without playing the tune again. Like everyone was playing it again. It's quite an emotional moment, man.
It's a heavy track, man. Like in terms of production, it's very, 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 very good. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because it's so simple, it works. Just like the kick and the keys, it just slaps just the way that it does it. So yeah, man, I really appreciated that beat.
I think there's a lot in rapping over your own beats because I feel like there's certain ways where like you all have your own internal rhythm. So when you send me a beat, like it has the Rick Charles rhythm within it. And then it's being rapped on by the Caveman internal mental rhythm. But when it's a beat and a producer by a beat and the vocals by the same person, it's the same internal rhythm. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's I see that maybe others won't see that same. I don't know.
Crazy enough, I always struggled like back in the day. I used to spit back in the day. I don't really have the time to do it now. And to be honest, I'm dead shit at it anyway because I don't have the time to invest in writing. But I always found writing to your own beats was really difficult. Like it was something I always struggled with. Like I just couldn't get the hang of it, man. I don't know what it was, just wasn't for me. So with this, who would you say is your biggest influence as a producer and as an artist?
As an artist, in relation to this EP or just in general?
I'd take both. Okay,
I shouldn't have done that because I don't know about it. But, in general, there's different aspects to it because I think in terms of like being an artist, I took a lot from looking at people like Akala in terms of the way he like. Akala hasn't had any like mainstream radio play in like 10 years or something, right? But when you go and see him, he's got all these different aspects to his show, and I've always liked that idea of like he works with what he has, kind of thing,
Yeah.
as an independent artist. But I feel like creatively, the people who most influence me are stuff like Big L. Andre 3000 is one of my most influential writers. There's a guy from Manchester called Skittles who, when I was a kid, was out like,
Skittles, yeah, fire. Yeah,
amazing.
Skittles is fire. Yeah.
Like, I've gone in a different direction somewhat, but when I was like 16, Skittles was like, yeah, that's what I want to be. Yeah, those kind of people. But it's weird because I don't really make the kind of music that I'm influenced by. Like Big L is one of maybe my favorite rapper of all time, top 3. But I don't really rap.
Briggz will rate that 100%. He's Briggs' favorite rapper of all time as well, pretty much.
There's got to be such a big crossover between battle rap fans and Big L fans. And
yeah, definitely. So, what about the EP? What influenced the EP in terms of how you got to it?
There was quite a few inputs onto. I don't really know what I was thinking about. The interesting thing, I suppose, actually, when I was making this project, is I wasn't listening to music because it was dropping down. I wasn't really going out. I was listening to podcasts. I remember listening to like the Talib Kweli podcast. I was listening to a podcast about The Wire, and yeah. So I guess it must have just been me. It was what was going on.
Yeah. What I will ask as well, while we're on the subject of like production and stuff, in terms of engineering, who was your engineer?
That's a guy named Blue, who also produced By the River, and he engineered the project, and then Tobias mastered the project.
Yeah. So the engineering was really, really good. This is proper nerdy to say, but it's just because I mix myself and engineer. But like I can't remember what track it was. I'll have to listen to it again. I think it might be Do Today actually. The way the reverb was used, it really gave that 80s, 90s boom bap feel. The way that the reverb and mix was done, it almost felt like I was listening to an older project. It was really done really well. It's like he's like, oh, I've got an idea. I want the boom bap to sound like, I want the track to sound like this, like an 80s, 90s, and he's polished it off very, very cleanly.
Yeah,
so
man.
Done very, very well.
I'll pass it on to him, and testimony there. Anyone who's watching, if you need your mixes done for your projects, come to No Space Studios, chat to Blue, we'll make it happen, man. Yeah,
definitely. Whereabouts is your studio situated?
The studio's in Ardwick. It's like it's just behind the Apollo.
All right, yeah.
It's a weird spot, but it's a good spot.
Yeah, I always find studios always tend to be, man. I think it's because it's hard to get somewhere that's cheap enough to try and rent out and make money as well on top of that, because it's expensive.
Once it starts doing well, it gets cool and it stops working. So I don't know what's going to happen because Ardwick's getting gentrified so fast, man. It's
crazy. Yeah.
You know, and now I think the people who own our building know that they could sell it for a lot of money now, but they could sell it for a lot of money in about 5 or 10 years. So I think we're going to hold on for a bit.
Nope, that's fair. Would you, in terms of the EP itself, have you got another project in line? Have you something lined up next?
Yeah. I'm about to take a bit of a break from stuff for the back end of the year, but I've got something that's nearly done, which is going to be another EP that's entirely produced by someone else.
Okay.
Never got out a tune with or even really met until about 3 months ago. But, I'm doing a show with my friend Jay Chambers. You should check him out. Fucking amazing artist. And this guy came up to me and was like, "Yo, I've got some beats for you." And you've had that conversation a million times, and 80% of the time you never get the beats, and then 15% of the time they're not for you. But that's stuff I loved. So we've got an EP coming up together, but a little bit later.
That's cool. No, that's cool. That's fine. If you had a unlimited amount of money, and you could choose any producer, who would you pick?
Probably fucking Quincy Jones.
Oh god, that's a fire pick. That is a fire pick. Like straight draw for the Quincy. That's a fire pick. Quincy Jones is crazy as a producer. Like that. Do you know? And that is not somewhere I would have expected you to go. Like everybody tends to go for like the hip hop producer, and like Quincy Jones is like god level.
I like J5 in the UK. I really like J5. He influenced what I do in terms of like the the way his hats don't follow a pattern. Like, yes, Red Wolf, respect. Sorry, that's lost me. His hats, like, it's every 4 bar. It isn't the same thing again and again. Do you know what I mean? It's constantly changing and hitting different pockets, and that's something I've tried to emulate because of
So, definitely. Which is funny you say that, because me and Briggz were working on a track the other day, and I wanted to do something different. So I panned my melody constantly left and right, so it would bounce left and right for the melody constantly. Just a little something, and I added a bit of reverb in there to create more space, and it just added a little bit different element to it all the time. That's all. And if you could pick any artist, any rapper or any singer, any artist you want, who would you have?
It probably would have to be like 3 Stacks, Andre 3000. I'm probably gonna get any.
Yeah.
But yeah. If I'll give them 5 answers, if anyone, I would have Andre 3000. I'd love to.
Right.
Yeah. I would get absolutely roasted off the track within a millionth of a degree.
I always feel it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I feel like, sometimes you kind of like, oh man, I'd love to have a track with him, and then you're like, shit, actually, if I get on a track with him, I'm gonna look absolutely dog shit.
I don't think I could do it even if I did the work.
Yeah. Like one of my picks for producing, and I would love to have Red Wolf. Although I won't mind Red Wolf on the beat. Yellow Wolf on Yellow Wolf on the track. I absolutely love Yellow Wolf. Briggz is gonna go mad at me, keep saying love, but it's just what it is. I love his flow, the way he spits. Is like kind of crossover of like hip hop and country. Is crazy, like nuts in terms of what that he does. But yeah, and even then I'm like, oh, but man, the beat would have to be nuts to do that, to get it over.
It's dope. The reason it's got him on it is, have you heard the Worldwide Trappers thing?
Yeah.
That was the first time I heard him, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I wasn't.
He's doing so many vast different kind of like albums, you want to call them, on mixtapes, EPs, or whatever. Like, he's gone from like love song country music to proper boom bap stuff to then hip hop kind of raw kind of West Coast stuff. He's really, really versatile in terms of stuff.
He has a kind of southern accent, and
he is. Do you know? I don't know where he's actually from in terms of locality, but he's definitely a southerner. He's definitely southern.
Yeah, he sounds.
I'm not gonna guess because I'll probably butcher it, and it'll come back and bite me in the ass probably.
Do you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Gets verse as well. Like a Gets verse. I feel like I could keep up with Gets. Not every verse, but I feel like if I had to write a verse to keep up with Gets,
I do like Gets. I think he's the way he switches in and out of his flow. Speaking of flow, you have a very unorthodox flow on some of the beats. Like, it's not that your timing isn't off. It's just that you don't ride the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes you ride in the 5s in between. You ride in the off beats in between.
Yeah.
So and if you don't musically listen, people are like, nah, it's off. It's like, nah, it's not off. It's on. It's just riding a different beat, which is fire, which is clever to do. Really clever.
One thing within No Space is Black Ice and Cheap Prophecy, the other 2 MCs in No Space, and everyone should check them out. They're amazing. And those guys, the patterns and the flows and the stuff those guys can do, I'm just like, yo, you just take the piss. And so sometimes I have to find something else because, like, I can't do the stuff those guys do. So I have to find something else to come with. So I try, and I feel like over 64 bars, I can't really keep up with Chi. So I have to win in the first 4 bars. Do you know what I mean? So I have to feel that's. You know what I mean?
It's very kind of I don't know if this is a word, lackadaisical. I feel like it's I think it's like 2 words put together potentially, but it's very like nonchalant kind of. I'm just gonna ride it here, but it's still gonna sit on. It's really I like the way that you did that.
By the river, swish wash buckle. I'm a pirate on the ship. This one nothing but the sly laconic-ish.
Yes. And you're not hitting snares. Bobby Rex does the same thing. Bobby Rex does the same thing with the way that he spits. He doesn't ride. He's so anti-distabularianism. Honestly, he's so anti-distabularian. He's crazy. Like he refuses to write in structures of beats. He'll just do what he wants. He'll make it work. So it's very much similar to that.
What Bobby does, it's like Bobby puts the rhyme just after it should have come. So your brain thinks, oh, that didn't rhyme. Then it suddenly does, and like it has this amazing effect. I imagine Bobby doesn't write, does he? Like I don't mean freestyle. It happens in his brain, and
I've done sessions with Bobby, numerous sessions, probably about 5 or 6 sessions with Bobby, and I remember we'd done a track. I was like, "Yo, you ready?" He was like, "Yeah," and he just stood there, ready. And then we've done it where we produced the track there and then got it ready. I produced it. It's like, right, I'm gonna go. It's like, what do you mean you're gonna go? It's like, yo, I've got the track. It's like, what? It's like, I've got the track, I'm ready. And he's pretty much got the concept in his head. And he starts spitting, and he'll start thinking of and then they'll stop. They'll tell me to stop. Go right, put me in a bar in, and then they'll start rhyming again to it. And mate, it's crazy the way that he works. So shout out Bobby Rex because you're a different animal.
He's a genius. But I've got a tune called Kingdom, which is on the last No Space EP. And I had a cold when we went studio, and my voice sounded so good. It was raspy. It sounded cool. And I was like, yo, we're getting this tune recorded tonight because when I come back, I'm going to be better. But I didn't have a full verse, and I did the same thing. We just freestyled. And then suddenly I was like, this isn't working. Cut out 2 bars. We'll freestyle. That's not working. Cut out 4 and just freestyle. It can be amazing. I have a thought in music that if you believe in your own musical sense and abilities, and you don't need to overthink things because your first thought can be as good as your third or fourth thought. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was I think it was sorry to interrupt you.
No.
There was talking with Kojay. I can't remember. He brought up this thing where he was talking about artists. So like I think it was Ed Sheeran or somebody else. So when they're writing tracks, what they do is they will write continually for ages and ages and ages to this beat until they're warmed up to get ready to actually write the track. They'll just throw out nonsense. It doesn't always have to be right. They're just throwing out nonsense just to get it out. So it's like, so you're saying like it's like when you go for a race, you don't just hit the mark and go. It's like you got to warm up, you got to get ready. So his way his brain works is like he gets his brain warmed up, ready to go before he actually starts to write, which is a smart way to do it because you don't really think of it that way. You just think, I'll just write some bars.
No, that's a really good point, and I think something that I do as well is we might make a beat, it take an hour and a half to make or whatever. So we've got the beat playing all night, and we're recording and writing stuff all night, and then I'll go away. I could record it tonight, but I'll come back in 2 weeks where because stuff just settled differently in your brain after a period of time. Let me read this message from Red Wolf.
Yeah, so I put up for
Red Wolf. Red Wolf was there on my first battle, and he told me he was battling DARPA, and I was like, yo, the last time I saw a DARPA battle, they had to call off the battle because he was so mean. And Red Wolf was like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm going to fuck him up. And he went. And I was
there for the same battle. Yeah, it was crazy.
Caveman, do you ever get a situation? Oh, that's interesting. Well, I go like kind of 4 bar by 4 bar. So I think about what I'm trying to say, and then I find some stuff that matches to it. To be honest, Red Wolf, I don't try to write complex stuff necessarily, so it's not a problem that I have. Like, I know the way you write, because it's sick. The patterns and stuff you do, that's crazy. But normally, I like my stuff to be sly and laconic. No,
I hear that because I think battle rap Caveman and artist Caveman are fundamentally 2 different writers. When I heard the EP, I was like, oh man, this isn't Caveman for battle rap. This is a completely different entity. Yeah. So it was good. Obviously in battle rap, I'm assuming most people here know what battle rap is because we're a part of very battles. But like, obviously, you think
this is a great place to start.
Yeah. So you're talking punchlines, metaphors. You're doing all that kind of thing, and then thinking about comedy, how you will land that punch. How much your setup is. And sometimes I forget, like as an artist, you don't really do that. Artists don't generally do that. They don't overcomplicate things that much. So when I had to listen to your EP, I was just like, oh man, this is actually Caveman the artist. This is complete separate. It's different.
Yeah, man. Because I guess I think the content changes everything, right? Like you can write a song about anything, but you have to write about your battle and stuff. And also, I'm a lot more. I've had a lot more years of making music than I have of battle rapping. So you're looking at the music as like me having been rapping since I was a teenager, whereas battle rapping, you see, like I wrote my first battle in about 2 weeks, and that's all I'd ever been a battle rapper for was 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So
that's great. Mate, when I battled Kit Nelly, I could not get the bars in my head to stay. Like I was practicing, man. I could not get them to stick in my head. It was something. It was memory is the hardest part for me.
Flipping slog. But I know Cooper's watching, so I'm not going to talk too much about my battle.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're not far off. In terms of you've seen obviously the new announcement on your for Apex recently.
I am gassed. Raptor and Koji, right? That's honestly, I don't think there is a battle for Koji that I would have been more hyped to see. Like, I think that's sick.
Well, they're both phenomenal writers. As battlers, unbelievable, right? I mean, Raptor's always been sick, but Raptor's just. I grew up with Raptor since fucking teenagers, went to high school and everything. Same as Bobby Rex actually, and his writing ability is sick, but he just lacks the determination to get there. However, he is absolutely switched on for like this season of battle rap. He's fully invested. He wants it. He's hungry. So Koji
they're both different battlers from where they were last time. Do you know what I mean? It's 5 years. I was thinking, like Raptor's probably getting close to like the majority of his battles having a rematch to them. Like
a lot of them. Yeah. So and Koji as well, you know. Koji as well. Yeah.
Man, so those guys are long in the teeth in battle rap, man. I'm the same age as Koji, and like he's got.
I forget that Koji is dead young because he looks old as shit. But I forget that he's dead young. When we drove to London for the last event, and it was me, Briggz, Bobby Rex, Bizzo, and Koji. Yeah, and like Koji was the youngest of us all, and like by a country mile, like good 9-10 years younger. Do you know what I mean? It was all like, fuck off, Koji. I mean, on the subject of your battle rap, are you locked in? Are you ready yourself?
Yeah. I was probably finished writing at the end of last month, and now I'm just finding little pockets and sticking on another couple bars in here or there. But yeah, I'm ready.
I like that a lot. In terms of your track, your EP again. Sorry, just
yeah.
How did you get your song order? What did you come up with? How did you get there?
So initially, One Time was going to be the first track. I thought, like, let's start with a bang. But I didn't realize how banging Do Today was.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you ended the EP on One Time. Yeah,
it would have been a bit odd to start on One Time because it's like you say, all three tunes are kind of in a pocket together apart from that one. So it would have been odd. It would have been like a false start. Do you know what I mean? So I think I knew I wanted to at least start or end, if not both, with my own production. And then I like to think about song order. And I think almost all the No Space projects I've probably had the main hand in picking the song order. So I just think about how they flow into each other.
I think you've done a great job of it. Definitely. Definitely. I finishing on One Time was definitely the best shout because I think going from such a high to come down to a low would have been really difficult to control.
Yeah, it would have been hard.
So you've done it really, really well. If right now it's finished, I asked the same thing to Red Wolf. The project's now finished. It's out. It's done with. Is there anything on there you would change? Anything?
Yeah, there's a couple things in the mix that I would go back and.
Okay. Funny enough, Red Wolf said the same thing. A couple of things on the mix he said it would change.
Oh, it's going to be. And with this one, I kind of gave myself a timetable to make it happen because I've had projects almost ready to go before and just let them simmer. So I wasn't going for perfection on this project. I was making sure it happened. So definitely a few things in mix. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? I think I have a habit of maybe slightly overdoing hooks. Like sometimes, especially when I've got like a 4-bar hook and I play it twice every time I play the hook. Now I've got a 64-bar tune and like 24 bars of it is just this hook playing 6 times. So I think I could improve on strong structure and having more bridges and stuff. And I'd like to bring in more live instrumentation, like having guitar solos and trumpet players and all that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily regrets with that project. It's just there's things that like I know I could have elevated.
Yeah, slight changes, tweaks in here and there that you could have done. With the who produced By the River? Did you say was it
By Blue?
By Blue. The wah sound is crazy. The wah sound is like in I think it's a couple of bars in. The sound of it is so sick, and it's a great little melody as well. In terms of when it sits on it, it is By the River, right? That I'm thinking about.
Problems. I heard you talk about earlier. That problem.
Maybe it was Problems. That's my bad.
That's Problems. That's by Strange Soul. Yeah, he's dope, man. He's shown me a few ways that he produces, and I've learned a lot about producing from him.
Let me just play that up for you now. Just that Problems. 1 sec. Just see this one.
Man can't cause me problems. Man, I got choices. Man, I got options. These guys can't cause me no issues. My little Obies, Yodas, Windows. Yes.
You know what? Again, the way you wrote the chorus was perfect to allow the melody to work within there as well.
So that I was gonna do this thing that I've just said on this. I was going to double it up and these guys can't cause me no issues. My little Obies, Yodas, Windows. But that was the plan, and somehow these lot can't cause me no issues. My lot, and just at the halftime in it. Space on it. I love the slump of it.
It's really like one of my favorite tracks on there. The chorus just works really well. The way he did it, the way they wrote the melody in terms of the actual chorus and let it breathe. It was really good.
There's a lot of rap styles and twisty little rap patterns on there. Probably more than on any of the other tunes. It's quite rappy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So in terms of the project, have you got any projects coming out with No Space next? Anything coming out with those lot?
We've got stuff together, but nothing that's been put into a project yet. Me and Team made a crazy tune the other day, but there's not a project together at the moment. We kind of took the summer off because we put out a project at the end of last year and we spent the first half of this year doing gigs. We had loads of shows up until the end of July. And then we was like, right, let's just chill for the summer and everyone go do your own thing. And we'll come back.
Yeah, fair.
Next week's September, so we'll probably have to plan it quite soon. It gets too hot in the studio and stuff.
Yeah. It's nothing worse than being sweaty in the studio.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, you got to look for a bit as well, do you know what I mean? Music, you'll run out of stuff to talk about if you just make tunes together.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think this is the... Briggz took a break from music really for about, I think, doing music for about 6 years, you know. I think he might have been, I'm sure it was like that. And we did a project called Gingerfication. I swear to God, if you can find it, go find it. It's fucking horrendous. But Gingerfication, yeah. It was me, I produced the whole thing. And it was Briggz. It's not horrendous. It was great for the time where we was at because we were young and we were still learning ourselves. But like when we listened to it, we're like, oh man, what have we done here?
Yeah, you've got to have those things. I've got a few things I'll look back.
yeah, literally.
Yeah. Especially before I mentioned it before we came on, before I learned to use my tone properly.
It's important, man. That's one thing that we was talking with Briggz about. I think it was just last week actually.
Briggz is an OJ battle, isn't it? Man, talk about flow. They don't even have the tone right, something like that.
It's true. Like sometimes there are keys. Well, not sometimes. There's always a key in a track. Yeah, always a key in a track, regardless. And sometimes you got to match that key, even if you're a rapper, to make it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're not going to blend with the track. You're just going to be like talking over the track. You're not going to sit within it. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And that's one thing. That's one thing from the EP that I've noticed, that your tone, which tracks, whatever track it is you use your tone very well for that track. So
I think that's why auto-tune's really taken over as well, because it just means that rapping is like, it's so much more cohesive within the
music. It's almost melodical in it in terms of what they're doing. I get that, definitely.
Right, even if you are just staying on one note for the whole time and I'm just rapping like this on this note, if this note is the same as within the tune, then it sounds well better.
Yeah, of course it does. Absolutely agree.
Same with definitely.
In terms of where, obviously, everybody that can tune in and see you, where can they hit you up? Where can they find you?
It's at Caveman M8 everywhere. That's Caveman Mate. It's not a postcode. It's just me.
It's not a postcode. It's Caveman Mate. Yeah.
Ever since the gate. But yes, Caveman Mate. Yeah.
And anything you want to add to the series itself? This episode 2. Anything you want to throw in there?
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you shouting me. It's been good, man. It's nice to. You spend so long working on the projects. It's nice to know it's falling on ears. And I just dropped the video an hour ago by the river. And if you're watching this, go subscribe to the Premier Battles Patreon, because me and Daniel's song just dropped on there as well. I've not watched it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
He had some of my favorite bars I've ever been on the receiving end of.
Oh man, fire! Listen, I remember we watched it. I remember dropping it at the rap game, and it was just before we got it all warmed up. It was fire then. I would definitely. So if you are listening and you are watching, go and check out Caveman Mate on Spotify. The River Don. It's a 4-track EP. It is definitely worth listening to the very end to get a massive uproar at the very end. Big drop. And I'm Rick Charles. I am the host for Under the Hood. You've been an absolute pleasure, Caveman. I'm gonna lead us out. Yeah, I'm gonna lead us out with one time.
Questions coming ourselves. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Premier Battles. Get your tickets to Apex Friday, the 9th of September. It's going off. Boom.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna put you in.
Don't see me on my ones one time too, Shelly, when I've got one rhyme. That's not sniff. I got more people think of sniff. I was like,
So simple. Just what.
See me on my ones one time, still shelling when I got one line. That's not sniff, just one lyric that I bit that'll hit when I spit it in the pit. Let me show you what it is. See me on my ones one time when I hit 'em with a swan-ton rhyme. Hey, I've been here a long time. I'd be lying if I said I never lost one time. Okay, see me on my ones one time, still shelling when I got one line. That's not sniff, just one lyric that I bit that'll hit when I spit it in the pit. Let me show you what it is. See me on my ones one time when I hit 'em with a swan-ton rhyme. Hey, I've been here a long time. I'd be lying if I said I never lost one time. I touch mic and I straight up shell it. Set flow come like an ancient relic. One number and I might bell it. You can do that to your face and red, and it look like a unread base. One message, man's angelic, likewise devilish. Bullseye straight when I aim and I never miss. MC Pucci shut down the premises. I touch mic, it's a straight up slaughter. Come with a flow that I wrote on Horton. This is my Baron, I am its author. I'm the flow maker, flow is.
That's all you're getting. Unlucky guys. Go and check it. Go and get it on Spotify. Run the numbers up for Caveman. You've been a pleasure. I am Rick Charles. Premier Battles, Under the Hood. Deuces, gentlemen. Laters.
Crush, man.
Yeah, well, thank you for tuning in. You've all been wonderful. Yo, and thank you for all the comments as well that you've dropped in. Great comment from the real Red Wolf. Again, go and check him out. Caveman M8. That's Caveman Mate on Spotify and all socials. Go and follow him. Don't be a bunch of scruffs just watching it and leaving everybody hanging. Go and get it watched. I've been Rick Charles. Premier Battles, Under the Hood. Peace.